All right, guys, welcome back to this week's video. We had a pretty good week last week with all the earnings that came in, especially with the Apple, Google, Meta, and we saw how market reacted. So if you look at your monthly and weekly candles, we did close a lot of the things with the red candle on as well. So something to keep in mind. And we have another busy week, especially with the U.S. election that's going to be coming up this week. And then the most important thing is going to be on Thursday that Feds are going to be speaking. So that's the one that you really want to pay attention to it, what they have to say. And then we got another busy week for earnings. We got PLTR on Monday after close. We got SMCI, which you guys saw how what happened last week with their issues with their auditors quitting, and they need to be doing a filing on November 15th, which is very important. So keep that in mind. And then we got ARM and QCOM earnings coming up on Wednesday after close, and then DraftKings and Raven. I don't know how to pronounce this thing. So we got that one on Thursday after close as well. So we'll look at the Raven chart. I'm pretty interested in where that one is sitting. So let's look at what we have for the week coming up. So ES, we closed right into our demand zone. Haven't changed much on the charts. This is all from last week. So we are right in that demand zone, and I want to watch and see how we react to this area. Especially if we are gonna start pulling back, and then obviously we're looking at 5,700 because that's a whole key number that pretty much people pay attention to it. So we'll see how we react to 5,700 if we are pulling back, and then obviously I would be more interested in my next demand zone, which is 5,649 area. However, if we are gonna be a little bit on the sideways, so I do have a couple small supply zones from shorter time frames. So I'll be watching to see if market is going to start to bounce and what we are doing at the 5,800 level. If we are starting to break, I am looking more to the upside of it. However, if we are starting to lose below 5,700, you want to be cautious. So let's look at the monthly candle as well. We got another inside monthly candle in here. Weekly, if you were to look at it, weekly also is we got a red candle on the week, and again we are sitting in our demand zone. If you look at the 15-day, and if you know me, I like the evening and morning star candle patterns, so I'm gonna be watching how the next candles are gonna be performing if we are starting to print to the downside of it. So that will confirm my evening star pattern on it. So we'll watch that. And then let's just quickly look at SPY as well. Couple levels to keep in mind. Again, we have SPY also had an inside day here on Friday. Anytime you see a yellow line on my charts, that means those are dark pool levels. So we are sitting right above this 567 dark pool area. So if we bounce from here, I'm looking to see how we react to the 572 and 575 level. However, if we are starting to lose the 567 area, we want to first see 565, and then next we got another dark pool print that was pretty big is at the 558, and then I have my next demand is between 550 to 555 zone. So any of this area could be tested depending on, especially with all the things that's happening with the elections and with the Feds talking on Thursday. Anything is possible, but also keep in mind we got a nice gap to fill to the upside of it. So don't let your bias get to you. It happened to me this week. We did pretty well on our live trading, except for one day. I let my bias take the best of me, and we end up taking a loss on it. But rest of the days we did pretty well, and especially on our swings we did very good as well. So let's look at NQ also, since we are at So I have this must be a smaller time frame fair value gap right there. We are in the demand zone on this one. So I want to see how we react and hold above the 20,000 area. If we are starting to lose this 20,000 area, we want to see if we can get to that next demand zone. So if we are pulling back, then obviously you'll see the pullback on the QQs as well. So let's just move. We have a daily fair value gap here as well. So if we are gonna fill the 50% of this, I would like to see, let's see, what does that gives us? That gives us about 20,382 area, even if we were to get some sort of a bounce next week. So we could be looking for how we react into this zone. So what does that look like on the QQs? First, let's look at the QQ monthly candle, and not the prettiest looking candle here. We did reject. It looks like we got a couple resistance areas to clear here. The 490 seems like we have not been able to close above 490. As you can see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 months in a row. So we have been struggled to get above the 490 area. So on the weekly, we did reject in our supply zone and pulling back. So now on the daily, let's see what happens. We now have a different gap on this one to fill as well. So I would like, if NQ is gonna pull back, if NQ is gonna lose the 20,000 level, if we can come into this demand area as well on the QQs. All right, since we have Raven earnings as well, I hope I'm pronouncing it right. Anyways, you guys get the idea of it. Here we go on the daily. We've been in this accumulation for a while now, so I would like to see a manipulation leg. If it is gonna pull back, then we need the manipulations to happen above here. Maybe it will be the earnings that we come back up and get rejected in the 1180. That will create our manipulation, and then we'll have a distribution. However, if we have a manipulation at the bottom right here, we create somewhere, I don't know, maybe go down to 895, 885 area, or even down to 945 area, and then bounce. I'm a buyer in that area, then I'm looking for my distribution to the upside of it. So if you know how the accumulation, manipulation, and distribution works, we don't have a confirmation right now. We're still in an accumulation zone. So I'm looking for that manipulation to print, and then look for the distribution to the upside of it. And they have earnings coming up. All right, couple things to look at, a few names just here. Let's see, Apple, 220 is your level. So we are in a demand zone. This is the exact same chart that I shared last week with you guys. The levels have been played out to the T. So we are watching to see if it is gonna continue to hold above 220. I'm looking for this imbalance to get filled as well. Apple has this. So if we get a bounce back up, 225, 227 area, to see if that's getting rejected and pulled back. However, if we are starting to lose 220, my next level is 216. We break this 210, then I'm interested in this demand zone, which is from the 202 to 26 area. Okay, let's look at AMD. AMD again could not break and close above our 167, 168 area. We are down in our demand zone. I would like a little bit more retracement into it. 138 area would be nice, and get some accumulation, and then have the manipulation leg down to 135 and then bounce back up. So that's what I am interested on AMD. The Avis budget car, we've been watching this chart for a couple months now. I think it's been almost over 3 months that since we've been in this play for our shares. We started watching, I think, somewhere in the 70, 72 area since we've been in this thing. We had a nice inverse head and shoulders on it, and we did break out of it. So I'm still looking to see if we can come back up and test this supply zone. I did sell only in shares. I am not in options on this one. So I'm looking to see if there's a little bit more room left. I did sell my shares at $100 because that was my first target. And I'm holding a rest of them to see if I can get somewhere into the 110, 115 area on it. So that's what we are watching on that. Let's see if there is anything. FSLR was another good one. So FSLR, I am watching. We did bounce from this demand zone. We did trade this one on Friday and we made some really good money on it, almost over 200% on our day trade. Looking to see if this one can continue and get above 210. This could be a nice overnight swing with a month out to get this gap filled as well. So that's what I am watching on FSLR. All right, let's see what else do we have. Do you want to look at Google? Okay, so Google did get out of the accumulation here. We got our manipulation leg up into this supply zone. Nice rejection into it. So I want to see what Google wants to do here now. If we are starting to break below 165, I am still looking for this demand zone to be filled. This is not gonna happen overnight. This is not gonna happen in a week. This is a long-term view of it. However, for this week, I would like to see how we react to 165 or how do we close above the 174 area. If we are in between here, I would say it's best to just do day trades or scalps on it. So that's what we are watching on here. Then let's see if there is anything else that I want to go over. I think this is it. I hope you guys are enjoying these. Let me know if you have any questions. I will see you guys next week. Thank you.